Hello, my name is Florence Briceño, and I'm a leader of Our Lady of Guadalupe Catholic Church, which is a member of Austin Interfaith. Last week, we held a community forum with our parishioners to share and explain codeNEXT and how it could possibly impact our community. We had 120 in attendance and broke out into 10 groups to hear people's stories and concerns relating to zoning. One historic story discussed was about our church. In 1907, Our Lady of Guadalupe was originally located at 5th and Guadalupe, west of I-35, until outside consultants influenced the mayor and council members to forcibly displace Mexican and African American families. As a result of the master plan, Our Lady of Guadalupe was relocated to East Austin, 9th and Lydia. A subsequent zoning change led to meetings between developers and representatives of Our Lady of Guadalupe. One developer pointed at our deacon and said, "You people need to move east of 183. On a personal note, in the 1940s, my grandparents purchased their home at 97 Rainey Street. I was fortunate to have had both sets of my grandparents live in East Austin, where I could walk the neighborhood frequently and visit them. However, in 2004, the city of Austin rezoned their neighborhood. Developers and real estate agents pressured my grandparents to sell, with the intent to encourage development near the Austin Convention Center. Subsequently, my grandparents moved, and my grandmother went through a year of depression because she missed her home, she missed her neighbors, and she missed the families around. What developed was the Fast Life, now known as the Rainey Street Entertainment District, with multiple high-rise condominium buildings. This continual culture change is destroying generations of families, neighborhoods, racial, ethnic composition, and Austin history. Sadly, the city of Austin didn't preserve the Rainey Street historic and residential character. So we are here today as a community, standing before you today again, this time before changing zoning, to explain that if codeNEXT version 3 passes, parishioners and longtime residents of East Austin, including seniors and families of color, will once again be displaced. Restrictions on non-conforming lots and unnecessary upzoning of SF3 lots will lead to displacement. Moreover, the change from use-based to form-based zoning in our neighborhood will accelerate displacement. Single-family zoning needs to remain single-family zoning so that generations of families and cultural traditions remain intact. Thank you.
Next speaker, Michael Floyd.
Good morning. I'm Michael Floyd, a member of All Saints Episcopal Church, speaking on behalf of Austin Interfaith, a nonpartisan, broad-based coalition of 36 congregations, schools, and nonprofits working for the common good. As a homeowner in East Austin, I've seen how skyrocketing rise of property values creates undue pressure on middle-class homeowners. Between 2016 and 2018, the assessed market value of my property more than doubled, causing my taxes to rise accordingly. I know from the small group conversations in our member institutions all over the city that my family is not alone. Austin is in an affordability crisis. Housing is increasingly unaffordable for growing numbers of low and middle income residents. Families with children, seniors, and people of color, particularly in East and South Austin, are being pushed out of the city. While recognizing that any land use code will not entirely solve the affordable housing crisis, Austin Interfaith nevertheless believes that a land use code guided by the following basic principles can mitigate its negative effects. First, displacement due to skyrocketing land values, housing costs, rents, and taxes should be minimized. Recognizing the injustice of historic land use practices that discriminated against whole segments of the community, care should be taken to prevent further discrimination. Second, for Austin to have an inclusive and diverse population and be welcoming to both old and new residents, There must be a wide range of affordable housing options based on the preservation of existing affordable housing stock, encouragement of alternatives such as co-ops and mobile home parks, and incentivizing new construction for the full spectrum of incomes. We have held civic academies at churches in South, Central, and East Austin. After learning about codeNEXT, hundreds of citizen participants have concluded that it falls short of these goals. codeNEXT could be improved by two changes in particular. First, entitlements in residential zoning categories above and beyond those provided by the present land use code should not be granted by right, but should be calibrated to incentivize the construction of affordable units in all parts of the city. Second, the qualifications for the density bonus should be strengthened so that the privilege of increased density can be earned only by the construction of family-friendly, multi-bedroom units intended for those making 50 to 30% MFI or below. The fee in lieu option should be applicable only when the fee is not less the cost of a 2 to 3 bedroom unit and can only be used to fund affordable housing projects. We appreciate these hearings, but the problems with codeNEXT are not resolvable within the anticipated time frame. Because of the number and complexity of these problems, there is no quick fix. We hope that there will be additional time for more discussion before any action is taken so that Austin can be as affordable as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sammy Easterday, and then Francis Acuna.